to develop their businesses. And she has, more importantly, a heart, a servant heart to lead us all. So without any further delay, please help me welcome our very own Director Ton Desizwe Roan. Director Roan, are you there, beautiful lady?
Well, you know, I would not be any other place on a Thursday evening than right here with the team. And thank you, Renee Crawford, for every Thursday welcoming everyone with the energy and enthusiasm to our team Zoom. You definitely are working both sides of our business successfully. And you've been instrumental in not only in growing the Caribbean market, but showing others across the country how they too can have that travel lifestyle and that income. So thank you so much for your servant leadership. Go Builder, Renee Crawford. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I get the honor of doing some announcements today. First of all, I want to make sure that everybody knows that, you know, we are 9 days away from our very first Planet Cares Day, which will be Saturday, the 20th of this month. And if you want to know, excuse me, excuse me. If you want to know where to go to www.planetcaresfoundation.org/events. And what you're going to find there is all the information about our nonprofit that is near and dear to Mr. and Mrs. Bradley's hearts and ours. And essentially, it is a nonprofit that makes sure that we give essential needs for women and children who are living in shelters. So I know many of you have already registered. You've reached out to partners in your area. You're going to do the walking. Those of you in Atlanta are going to do that 3-point shooting contest or whatever else is there. But most important, if you can't do it on the 20th, if your heart, you know, so drives you to do this, please go and make a donation to our nonprofit. Very exciting, first one ever, and we'll be doing many more of those. Oh, another huge event that we are going to be participating in August, we're just counting down, is convention at the Gaylord Palms in Dallas. Now, many of you were with us when we were in the Gaylord Palms in Orlando, and man, that was an impressive spread that we got to be in, because we are in the travel business, right? But now we're moving it to Dallas, and you definitely want to be there. Top notch. They're going to have days of 2 days of university with IntelliTravel courses, as well as Planet networking. And one thing that you want to do is make sure that just not you come, but your team comes, because you know, come alone and you learn, but come with your team and you earn. The other thing is that this is where you network. And when you leave convention, both sides of your business, you're going to exponentially have productivity and growth. So we're looking forward to seeing you there. Another thing is that ITQ, the annual event that IntelliTravel has, will be also happening on the 20th. And I know many of you are registered, and one of the most important things about going to ITQ is that you're already thinking about how you're going to translate all that learning into bookings, commissions for you, as well as your own experiences as you travel, but very important. Another thing is all sponsors, we have a lot of new partners, very exciting. We may forget sometimes that they don't know that they can, if they're IntelliTravel agents in good standing, go and to the official IntelliTravel agent departure lounge. It's a great tool, resource for you. People who your peers have already researched some of the work. I need you, of course, we need you to do your own research, get certified, but it is a great tool for you to find out how your colleagues have been working through some situations and some suggestions. Last event that I want to announcement is, every Saturday, the first, second, and third Saturdays are your money-making mornings, right? Because amongst other things, the first Saturday of every month, our founder and CEO, Mr. Bradley, has an international locker room for the whole global company. So you definitely want to be in there and mark that off. This coming up Saturday is second Saturday. Oh my goodness, some of the top leaders will be presenting on your behalf, actually showcasing your business to your prospects. So you definitely want them to be on there. And then the third Saturday of every month is advanced training. So not only do we want you to enjoy your business, but we want you to learn how to generate that income. Lock them in your calendar and be very ready and excited to learn everything that you're going to be able to get from this business that you invested in. So I think at the end of the call, if at the Zoom, if I've missed anything or we have other announcements, we'll definitely have time for that. But right now, I can't wait to get out of the way so that I can bring up this young lady who has loved travel for years. And once she became an entrepreneur with her IntelliTravel agency, she just took that love of travel and really maximized her business to the degree that she reached the highest commission levels of 80% that's available as an IntelliTravel agent. And she is definitely someone who is a product of the product. She loves adventure and fun, and she's a world traveler and turns around and helps other people learn how to make money in our industry by booking for clients, as well as doing those amazing familiarization trips. So can I have Director Sandra Myrick step forward?
I am here. Can you hear me loud and clear, Director Roan?
Can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for that introduction. I appreciate it. And I want to say to everybody, hello, fellow business owners. We are business owners in one of the best industries in the world. Do you not agree? I've been having the absolute best conversations with individuals, partners, clients, potential clients, and I can feel the energy and the excitement, and the amount of hesitancy around travel has reduced tremendously. I hope you're seeing that as well. I wanted to take this opportunity though to share with you a few things that you may or may not know about the coming travel boom, wave, resurgence, whatever you want to call it. And I also wanted you to hear from two partners on how they have taken this time, their knowledge, and worked their business plan to book travel. First, what makes me think there's a travel resurgence going to happen, is happening outside of my own conversations? Well, I got to tell you, I was listening to a webcast today, and I'm going to share some of what I learned with you. There are indicators that you should be aware of as travel professionals, and you should watch them. One of those is the CDC announcing changes in the rules. Well, just this past week, the CDC stated people who have both vaccinations can visit family and friends, even if those family aren't vaccinated. Guys, that's huge. That's huge. What about the standardization of the entry rules in countries? For instance, the EU is talking about standardizing a health passport across its countries. We talked about health passports on our last travel talk. It's not there yet, but it's under discussion. The airlines within the US are pushing our legislators to come up with a standardized health passport. Why? You know why? To open up travel. And you should be watching consumer confidence indices. That's big. Some folks even believe that when the people receive their next stimulus package in their bank accounts, there's going to be an uptick in actual book travel, not just the desire to travel. And several polls are showing that travel is the #1 thing people are hoping to do once the pandemic is over. The other thing you should be watching is that vaccination distribution. Guys, approximately 18% of Americans have had both doses of the vaccine, and approximately 26% of Americans have had at least one dose. So most health experts are predicting a full vaccination rollout by the end of May. As a matter of fact, I was just listening to President Biden, and he stated in his speech today that all adult Americans will be eligible for the vaccination by May 1st. What does that mean? Because of that, by the end of June, folks will likely start thinking of travel or continue with their final deposits, right? We're expecting a huge demand for summer travel. Folks will likely book more last minute than they normally do instead of those 3 to 6 months. But the question is, are you ready? What should you be doing? You should be doing what the two partners I'm about to bring up have done and are doing. You cannot wait. You have got to start now. Master your marketing, master your qualifying. Both of these ladies are doing exactly that. So I want to just bring them up, and I'm going to bring them up one at a time because I want you to take your pens and paper, pencil and paper. I want you to jot down thoughts, ideas, questions, comments, because we're going to come back afterwards and I would like to hear. We're going to have a little dialogue if you have questions or comments. So the first lady I'd like to bring up, matter of fact, I'm going to actually read it. Hold on a second, is a young lady that actually I know, I've been knowing her for a little while. She lives in Decatur, Georgia. She has 2 daughters. She obviously is a mom. She's a bookkeeper at an elementary school. She's a previous small business owner of a Southern specialty food store. She became intrigued with entrepreneurship, and she is part of our business. I'd like to right now introduce you to Miss Anissa Harris. Miss Harris, if you could unmute yourself, show yourself, and just say hi.
Hello, and how's everyone doing this evening?
Awesome, awesome. Well, Anissa, I want you to tell us how long you've been in the travel business and why you decided to own your own travel business, your own company.
I have been in the travel business for 5 years. 5 years. I started as soon as I got that call. I said, absolutely, I'm going in head first this time. Why entrepreneurship? The freedom, the having my time back, and developing my own schedule is so very important to me. And I think that's what entrepreneurship can give you, especially with network marketing.
Yes, I agree. That's where I got in it. So why don't you give us a little history on the types of trips that you booked?
Certainly. So my very first trip was a cruise for a cousin of mine, and it was a disaster, an absolute disaster. I could not keep up with the deposits and the names. I wasn't organized enough. I needed a system. So I've done some cruises. I have also spent a lot of time just booking couples, especially those that want to do all-inclusive resorts. Those all-inclusive trips are extremely important and popular. I've also booked some family reunions, which was interesting. There's one in particular where I booked a trip for a Mediterranean cruise for a couple, and they had an amazing time. And I asked her, I said, do you mind posting a picture and tagging me? And she did. And from that, a lady saw it and she wanted my information, contacted me, and she was booking her family reunion to the Dominican Republic. Well, when she said she was expecting 100 people to go, I was like, okay. But I continued to get more and more names added to this amazing spreadsheet that she created. And she taught me a lot. She taught me how to get organized with these large groups. And so with that trip, I learned how to manage my time, how to schedule, the time that I needed to work with her, how to work with the vendor, how to create a Google document that was shareable, which made everything so much easier. And I know a lot of you have heard that story, but the commission on that was $9,000. It still is shocking to me every time I think about that. But it was one of my most successful bookings that I've had. So fast forward, last year, unfortunately, I lost all of my bookings, but some of the people who I booked for who received those travel vouchers, they came back to me this year and they wanted to travel bigger and better.
I love that. One of the things that we talked about in our pre-call was that you had a trip, an Egypt trip. And can you share with us what the client wanted? Did you go through a supplier? And what was the qualification process like for that particular client? And what were your business
Certainly.
decisions about the tours?
Certainly. So the client calls, and this is a repeat client, which was refreshing to know that she trusted me yet again. And when I thought about Egypt, I just thought, oh, she must want the world. So I went to a couple of different vendors that we have in the back office and sent her pages upon pages of tours and the various meals that they would have and the extra transportation. I mean, I was excited because I was looking at that bottom line, here's a $10,000 booking. She's definitely ready for this. But when she received the information and had some time to review it, she said, this is not what I want to do. I do not want to spend my entire 10 days following a group of people on a bus, I want to enjoy my time and I want to do this one particular tour. They wanted to do the Nile River cruise. And that's all they wanted to do. They wanted to spend the rest of their time exploring on their own. And I sat there like, oh my gosh, you're killing my commission. But I was able to give her some advice on where to look so that she can book her own excursions and tours. And I'm glad that I did that because it took a lot of pressure off of me. I was able to say, here's this app, and the name of the app is Visit a City. And with that, she was able to navigate and figure out for herself what was meaningful for her, and I can step out. Then I could spend time focusing in on finding them a 4 or 5-star hotel and making sure that they received the flights that they wanted. They'll be flying from Atlanta to Rome, and then they'll have a layover in Rome, which is a bonus for them so that they can enjoy a little bit of Rome and then continue on to Cairo. And that meant that the dollar amount went down significantly. And as much as I was looking for all of the money, it's okay, because as soon as we finished with the initial deposit on that, she called me for a girl's trip to Paris. So she's a client for life now. And I think she really appreciated me not badgering her or pushing her to book something that was going to be to my advantage, but definitely for hers. So I wind up going and using Delta Vacations. I absolutely love Delta Vacations. They're my go-to for everything, amongst others. I mean, I do some travel comparisons, but Delta Vacations is near and dear to my heart. Director Myrick.
One of the things I had to start smiling because one of the things that I think, even though you're an experienced agent, you were getting very excited about the bottom line. One of the things that we don't take a lot of time in is qualifying our clients. And you made the assumption that they wanted this, 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 and this. But what I want to share with everyone, and one of the things that we all learn how to do better each time, is to qualify our clients. And what is qualifying? Ask questions, and ask more questions. One of the things, like you said, you gave her a lot of information and found out that all that time you spent looking up that stuff was wasted because she was not at all interested. So one of the things I want everybody to take away with is the qualifying piece. It's huge. The second thing I wanted you to look is that you made a business decision based on your time that you were going to give them the app. What is it called?
Visit a City.
The
3
app,
words. Visit a City.
And let them find their own excursions. She made a business decision to let that money go. for her own peace and her stress. I love that piece. And the last thing that I'm going to say is that because you focused on your strengths and used a supplier that you know very well, and I can talk to 24/7, you probably have now a client that's going to come back to you again. I love it. Here's what I'd like to ask you, Anissa. Do you mind sharing the commission rate or the expected amount for the trip with our
No, not at
business?
all. Not at all. Luckily, this couple decided to bring another couple on with them, which is exciting to me as well. So the commission for each one is going to be $267 and some change. My travel goals for every month is $1,000. So for the month of, they're going in September, I'm halfway there. So I'm, a little over $500 for those 2 trips. And now I'm working on finding up clients who want to book in September, who will give me my $1,000 a month for the month of September bookings.
Love it. Guys, I always talk about this. This is a business. We love travel. It's sexy, it's fun and all that. But at the end of the day, what does Mr. Bradley say? The measure of a business is a profit. And so
That's right.
you treat it like a business with a goal in mind and you focus on that goal. Guess what? If you don't have a goal that's measurable, how will you know if you hit it? I love that you have a goal and set up for each month. I think that's something we can all take away. Are there any tips or takeaways that you'd like to share with your fellow travel advisors?
Definitely. I mean, you touched on it a little bit earlier. Save your time. Put together a list of questions to ask your clients. Find out exactly what they want to do when they arrive at their destination. I'm finding that more people want to relax. They want to have their time when they are on vacation and do the things that they want to do. So I would definitely sit down with a pen and paper and just think about, what do you like to do when you vacation? I mean, we're all average people, and the people that we talk to more than likely are probably just like us. So definitely qualify the time that you spend. And when the time is right, release the desire to book every single thing. Do the major things, do the hard things for them. And the hard thing may be finding a great resort or hotel, and securing their flights for them, or not. Sometimes they can find their own flights because they have Sky Miles or whatever the case may be. And maybe you pull away from the flights because some people are really touchy. No, I don't want a middle seat. I'd rather have the end, or I want to stretch my legs. Okay, I don't have time for that. Okay, you can book that. I'll do some of these other major things for you. And then we can come together in a week or two after you've decided how you want to arrange your flights or what have you. So write down some qualifying questions. Don't waste a lot of time, and you will be happier as a booker. Dr.
Awesome.
Myrick?
Thank you so much, Anissa. I appreciate you very much. And guys, I'm just going to add this last piece. The qualifying questions, it shouldn't be an interrogation, right? The 50 questions with the light. It should be questions that you flow into your natural conversation with genuine curiosity and genuine interest. Okay. So I love it. Let's move on, because I'm really happy to introduce the very next business partner to you. She is a young lady that recently retired and is doing this now business full time. I'm gonna let her tell you her story, but I'd like to have Miss Sandy Whaley Gibson. If you will unmute yourself and say hi to the folks. You're still muted. There you go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I think you can turn your volume up, or I can turn my volume up, or everybody turn your volume up.
I'll turn mine up. Is that better? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, she said she's going to give you a call at 9:45.
I can hear somebody else.
Yes.
I can hear somebody else. Or okay, no, Sandy. If you can hear Sandy, will you wave at her?
Can you hear me?
Okay, go for it. They said they can hear you.
I
So-
joined.
Oh, okay, so you've already introduced yourself?
I'm sorry, I'm Sandy Gibson. I'm from Sicklerville, New Jersey, and yes, I retired October of 2020. Now I can devote my time to travel business. I've been a member of IntelliTravel for 3 years now. It'll be 3 years in May, and I enjoyed doing that even before this opportunity came about. I always enjoyed looking through travel and helping people arrange vacations and flights and things. I always considered myself a travel agent. So when this opportunity came about, it was a no-brainer for me. So it's an opportune time to do what I love to do anyway.
Absolutely. That's great. I love it. Opportune time to do what you want to do anyway. So why don't you give us, Sandra, a little history on the types of trips that you booked previously as a travel advisor?
Okay, in 2019, I booked a couple trips. Of course, last year was a washout. 2009, I booked 19. I booked a Disney trip for 3 people. I booked a Jamaican trip, a trip to Jamaica, excuse me, for a couple, and that was very successful also. And this week, I booked 11 people for Disney, what do you call it, Orlando, Florida, for a Disney and resort vacation. And this coming week, should have 8 people going to Puerto Rico. They haven't made their, they haven't completed that booking yet, but that's what's on there. That's what's coming up now. And I have a cruise, which most of you've seen on Facebook, where I booked. I had 34 people going to Hawaii initially. Then that's been growing since then. I didn't intentionally seek to do a Hawaii trip. It was kind of in casual conversation.
Wait a minute. Before you go there, I want to ask you a quick question because that's what I want to talk to you about. Guys, I don't know if it's very hard for me to hear, so I want to make sure that she's talking about she has a 2022 Hawaii group cruise. And I wanted you to just tell how you started it and why you chose Hawaii and why you chose a specific supplier that you chose.
Okay. The trip wasn't intentional I didn't set out to go to Hawaii, but in talking to a few people, I said, like, I need to plan, it's time for us to plan another cruise to go somewhere because our others, for 2020, it fell through. And a few people brought up Hawaii. I said, well, and I just, in casual conversation. When I got off the phone with the last person, I said, let me just do some research. And I ran across Norwegian. NCL had one for 7 days. And it was perfect timing because at the time, they offered all 5 options. As you're aware, the open bar was included, the Wi-Fi, the fine dining, the excursions. You got a discount off excursions, and kids fly free. The airfare was buy one airfare, you got one free. So that was a great selling point. And the deposit was only half price. The deposit to Bertha Room was $125 when normally it's $250. So that when I put that package together right away, it took off pretty good. I think within a week and a half, I had like 30-some people.
So Sandra, what I heard you say was that you were in casual conversation, but intentional. Hawaii kept coming up. So you decided to, as a business person, look at that, go and investigate it, and you went with Norwegian. And it just so happened, if I heard you correctly, that Norwegian at that time was having that five for free deal. Free open bar, free Wi-Fi, free the dining, specialty dining, kids free, and also buy one, get one free on the air. So that tells me, guys, that you got to keep up with what your supplier, what they're doing. I'm gonna just ask you a couple of questions because I'm having some problems hearing you. So I'm gonna ask you some specific questions, okay? So, and that is this. You said you started out with a few, and now it has booked to how many?
57 was my last count.
She's gotten to 57. 57, awesome. I wanted to ask you another quick question, and that is, you began to market the cruise. How did you market it?
Well, when I ran up into the promotion, I had maybe 7 or 8 days before the promotion was over. So I had to quickly make up a flyer. I emailed a lot of people, I called people, I texted people, sent them the flyer via text, and people just, the calls started coming in.
Okay, so what I heard you say was that they had 7 days to respond. You picked up the phone, you called, you sent the flyer. I know in our pre-call, you also said that you started marketing the flyer yourself on your social media. You marketed on your personal page, your business page, but you also did picking up the phone and calling folks. I love it because there's nothing better than that personal touch of talking to folks. And they get to hear from you anyway. If they weren't interested, they still got to hear from their travel concierge. I love that. This trip is 2022.
Yeah.
So are you doing a pre and a post?
Yes, we're going down 2 days before. We have a hotel booked there, and that's more commission people. We're going down 2 days early because it turned into a wedding. A nephew of mine, he was engaged. He said, well, they might as well get married while they're in Hawaii. So of course that added more bookings to family members. And that gave me more opportunity to book the hotel 2 days ahead of time. And the great hotel. And everything's working out fine.
I love it. Because you open your mouth, because you ask questions, because you're intentional about what you're doing. 2-day pre in Hawaii turns out to be a wedding with additional folks. And guess what? I don't even have to ask her this because I know who I'm talking to. You better believe she's handing out business cards. She's the travel concierge advisor and being professional about it. I love it. I love it. I wanted to stop right here. Thank you so much, Sandy. I appreciate you so much. And guys, she hasn't been in the business that long, but she's a student of her industry. What I wanted to also ask right now, is there anybody that had any questions or comments, anything like that?
Hi, Sandy, it's Kat Hines from Cleveland. I have a question.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So my question actually is for Anissa. I don't know if you are familiar with Viator, but I wanted to just add a little value because maybe it didn't work for Egypt. I've never booked Egypt, so I don't know. But I know that in the history of booking, I have provided clients with my Viator client booking link where they can book their own excursions no matter where they go. So my question to you is, was that an available option for you with that client, providing her with your link so that she could still decide what she wanted to do when they got there?
Kat, that is absolutely amazing. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. And it probably would have been of value to her to take a look at it so that, I could have earned commission on that. I think at the moment I wanted to make sure that she was comfortable, that she knew that I understood where she was coming from. But I appreciate you sharing that, and I'm putting it in my back pocket right now to remember to use that. Thank you.
I'm also going to say, because I know that Miss Sandy is also going to be doing excursions on her cruise, and I know that she's going to be monetizing it for herself. Anybody else have any questions, comments?
Yes, Director Myrick, this is Renee Crawford here from St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, and it's for either Anissa or Sandy. Since some of those bookings are in the future, do either one of you use Uplift to finance those trips? And if so, like, I know I've done the training, but I don't really know how it really and truly works. You don't really get to know how to use some of it until you actually use it. So if either one of you could share or shed some light, I'd be ever so grateful. Thank you.
Renee, I have never used it. Sandy, do you have anything that you can contribute?
I offered it to people, especially people who are not as fortunate as others. I tell them if you can't afford to pay, it all at one time, or you need a budget, so to speak. I said you can use Uplift. I said we finance, we use Uplift, and you can pay even after you get back. You can spread out the payments over a period of time. So I am offering to people, but so far no one has taken advantage of that.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate both of you young ladies. But at this particular point, I'm going to cut off the questions because I'm cognizant of time and we still have a couple of other things to do. I do want to take this opportunity to ask the best part of what we do, which is our other business, which is sharing this message with other people so that they can be partakers of the travel industry as well. So if you are a goal builder, go ahead and unmute yourself. And this is the time that we welcome new partners and celebrate promotions.
Good evening, everyone. Again, I would love to welcome Erica Walls, who partnered with me this past Saturday. I would love to welcome Erica to the team, and Erica is out of the Atlanta market.
Awesome. Congratulations. Welcome. Who else?
Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome Ms. Kalisha Warren. She partnered with me 2 days ago, and she is out of the Burlington, North Carolina market.
Welcome, welcome. Who else?
Director Myrick, Renee Crawford here. I'd like to welcome to the team Aisha Corbett out of Atlanta, Georgia. She was personally sponsored by Kishma Coram out of St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. And also Everett Taylor out of St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. He was personally sponsored by Kishma Coram out of U.S. Virgin Islands. And it even gives me more pleasure to share with the team that Kishma Coram promoted herself to bronze builder.
Yes, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Who else?
McKenna from San Diego. I'm a gold builder here in San Diego, California, and I'd like to introduce my new team member, Renee Wilson, who just joined last Friday from San Diego, California.
Awesome. You know what? I'm grinning from ear to ear. You ought to be too, because this just goes to show that the business that we have, the message that we give is powerful. Who else?
Hi, Director Myrick. It is Kat Hines again out of Cleveland, Ohio. Yes. I would like to welcome to the team Shanae Garrett King out of Cleveland, Ohio, personally sponsored by me. I would like to also welcome Relicia Curran from Chase City, Virginia, personally sponsored by Sheila and Scotty Hurt. And I am screaming to the mountaintops. Congratulations to my newest gold builders, Sheila and Scotty Hurt.
Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations to all of that. I love it, I love it, I love it. Y'all.
Director Mark?
Oh, come on. Yes, yeah. Dorian, Director Dorian.
I'd like to welcome a couple of people that joined the team since last week. Daryl Hill, sponsored by Cornelius Glass. Kalisha Warren, sponsored by Tara Perkins. Erica Lockhart, sponsored by Selena Best. Melissa Spencer, sponsored by Cornelius Glass. Brenda Gray, sponsored by Cornelius Glass. Fatina Green, sponsored by Tara Perkins. Marsha Bill, sponsored by Tara Perkins. Kristen Class, sponsored by Brianna Morgan. And I'd like to congratulate Cornelius Glass on becoming a bronze builder this week.
Awesome. Congratulations, congratulations. Guys, I know, I see my director, our 3-star director, she's itching her seat to say something as well, but I am going to say this. If it wasn't for Planet Marketing, these folks would not be in the travel business. So don't you ever be shy about spreading this wonderful business. Wonderful. Anybody else? Good, because now it's my absolute pleasure to bring up to the mic, so to speak, our 3-star director, our director maker, our what do you call it? 6-figure income earner in Planet Marketing, our 5-figure income earner in travel bookings. I just love her to death. Director Joy Dawkins, please unmute your mic. Come on up.
I am here. I am here. What a phenomenal job. What a phenomenal call. I did take notes. Absolutely. I learned some things too. And I am so excited to welcome everyone and to congratulate all the promotions. I hope this is a great sign that you see the change is coming, that you see we are moving way past this and travel is hot and popping. I tell you, this week I had someone who years ago introduced the business and called me and said, you know what, can you help with the reunion trip that we're going to do, our university, our class really, at Hampton University. And I started working with that, myself and a couple of other travel agents in teletravel. And you know what, he called me, he said, you know, I think I want to get into that business. I didn't even ask him, but I'm getting more and more of those calls where people are saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I want to do it too. Because you know what? If you're going to travel, you might as well book it for yourself. You might as well earn the commission yourself, right? It just makes sense. And we're having more of those it just makes sense conversations. So that's evident with all of the new partners we have, all of the promotions that we have, and we're going to have more and more and more. So thank you so much. Any other announcements? I know the announcements were done at the beginning. I guess I will reiterate convention. Go in your back office, book for a convention, meet us in Dallas. It's going to be as safe as it can be, I promise. We will have everything in place to make sure that is not an issue. So go ahead and make your plans, get your tickets, and meet us out there for this amazing event. Let's see, anything else on there? This coming Saturday, yes, we have the presentation at 11 a.m. That's going to be the corporate presentation. Plug your guests in, invite people. 11 a.m. Eastern time, so that's early. That's 8 a.m. on the West Coast. I know we have a lot of California people here, so plug in, get your guests on point for that. And I think that's all I can really think of to reiterate. I do want to open it up in case there are any other questions, comments, or announcements really quickly, because I know we're out on time. But any other questions, comments, directors, anything? Unmute yourself. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I just want to thank you. This has been an amazing call. Make sure you come back next week. We are going to talk about, I think the topic is going to be entrepreneurs and employees, and we're going to talk about the mindset. So you want to come back for that. That's going to be awesome. And get your teammates on, because we're going to announce week after week. We want to welcome everyone. We want to be able to see your faces and get to know you. So of course, when we see you live at convention, another plug, yes, we'll know who you are. That being said, I want to thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you for spending your time, for sharing your lives, and for building your dreams with me.
Have a fantastic evening. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night.